program.
Yeah.
How big would it be to get another one of those rings right
Well,
now?
big was the word I was trying to remember, because I'm telling you, this is at a point of critical. I don't mind saying it. And I'll promise you they feel it. If somebody comes out there and whips us, I'll accept it. And when somebody does, I'll tell them, da-da-da-da-da. But not playing good enough when your best is needed and losing them on that basis is not acceptable. And there'll be a heavy price to pay if I ever come to that conclusion again. And you know whose responsibility it is? Moi. When it happens, it's because of me, and I'm tired of dealing with it. Because they do exactly what I tell them to. If he gets screwed up against Tennessee Tech, I screwed it up. So it's critical to me, and we'll see. Things happen in football games, you know, and you just got to live with what it is. When it boils down to you didn't play your best when your best was needed, then you got to fix it. So it's critical. It's not big. It's critical. I mean, you know, if somebody in this league is better than us, it'll show up. Starting out, on paper, we probably are the best team in the league, but it's still about playing. And I'll promise you, it'll be a dogfight after a dogfight after a dogfight. Start with UT Martin. It will be a dogfight. It'll be worth the price of admission. Because there's one thing about being picked first means they're all bringing their A game, boys. Every one of them. So you just got to be ready. You bring your B and they bring their A, you're beat.
Talk a little bit about that opener, Coach, and the difference in opening and conference play as opposed to.
Yeah. You know, for this football team, based on that, you know, the line of that question, I think it makes our August a better August. When you open up with an SEC school or you open up with Georgia Tech, your whole mindset is about the first game. And you tend to not necessarily, when you're playing games when you have that situation, you're tending not really to focus on yourself. You're focusing on some dimension, like you open up with Georgia Tech. You know, how are you going to handle this, and this, and you sort of, that permeates maybe everything. But opening up against UT Martin, I'll promise you, and I don't mean this any way other than to say, we're going to focus on UT Martin, but we're going to really focus on us. And I think maybe it's been a long time since we've gone out there and said, okay, we can't run but 5 plays right, then we're going to run 5 plays. If we don't run but 2 defenses right, we're going to call 2 defenses. I don't think that's going to be the case. But the bottom line is just play as good as you can play and get as good as you can get. And don't worry about things you don't. When we play Georgia Tech, there are things you don't have any control over. And Ole Miss and, you know, the other folks we play. But I think it's great. I think it creates an urgency. I think it creates a focus, which is on us first. And you know, I expect it to be the best August we've ever had. I tell you what I'm doing in August, so I'm really, and y'all have heard some tragedies about the effects of heat, and they are tragic. I am going to protect the energy and the mindset of this team while working on one end of them to work them till they can't stand any more work. I'm going to make sure that we don't lose it in August too. I mean, if you're really going to play into the playoffs, that is a long way, and you can spin your wheels. When I was at Auburn, I think we were guilty of doing it for all the right reasons, but we weren't the team at the end sometimes we were at the beginning, because we may have overworked them. And since then, and you know, I've had conversations with Pat before. It's one of those learning experiences where you got to learn to get where you need to be all the way down the road. So, but I'm excited about opening up at home. I'm excited about opening up with a conference game. I think it's a good thing.
Coach Crowe, could you talk a little bit about Jameson Watley and what he brings to your team and how his perspective may be different based on his
life? Yeah. They got another one on the way, I think. But he's married. You know, we start workouts at 5 o'clock in the morning over here in June and July. He's in Rainbow City, married, and James said, what time you get up in the morning? 3:45. Because he has to do some work around the house before he comes over here, and he drives over here. And so that boy's life's a lot different than everybody else's. And he's a solid student. Let me tell you what, I'll give him an advertisement straight up. You talk about a guy who's going to be a great football coach, and he wants to be a high school football coach. He was a grown man when he got here. I suspect probably Jameson was a grown man when he was 12. I mean, he's a grown man, and we all know it, and knew it the day he got here. I mean, walk softly and carry a big stick. Because he carries a big stick around here with me and everybody else. He's one of our captains. Marquez is one of our captains, and our third captain is going to be a rotating specialty teams player. It'll start off Brooks Robinson. It may be Brooks Robinson all year, but it'll go back on who had the best weekly performance the week before, which last year in 12 football games, Brooks led our special teams. He was number one, I think, in 8 of them, and the other 4 he was second. So he's a sort of a shoe-in. We'll see how it goes this year. But Jameson is, if we were to put one out there, it'd be Jameson. And everybody would vote for him, too. It'd be unanimous.
Coach, since we're talking a little defense, just talk a little about everybody that you have returning. I mean, you do have a good bit of starters returning.
Right.
Just talk a little about that.
Well, the front 4 is where it starts. There's 3 seniors. And, college football, or football today, not college, NFL too, if you can't come off the edge and create pressure on the quarterback and get vertical and still stop the run, then you're not going to be special. Well, Texas, Rodney, I just call him Texas, Rodney Garrett, and Monte Lewis are those 2 edge guys. And then you got Jameson, Demetrio, Tyson inside that are probably a little undersized for inside play over the guards players, but they're extremely athletic, extremely athletic. At linebacker, one of the transfers we've got here is from Ole Miss. Played over there as a true freshman last year. I mean, we got some talented linebackers now. At safety, we're deep and very talented, but we're thin but really talented at corner. I mean, A.J. Davis. And all these guys except for Jack, his name's Clarence Jackson, but we call him Jack because his dad's named Clarence too. Jack adds to a mobility that we have at linebacker with James Powell. These guys could all be tailbacks. I mean, they're all extremely athletic and extremely physical, and I mean, we're good on defense. You just got to say we're good. Now, are we going to play our best when our best required? Buy a ticket. But there's nobody is going to be stocked as any better than what we're stocked in the FCS on defense. I can tell you that.
Jack, what could keep this team
Itself.
feeling what you're talking about?
Itself. All the things that get you beat. Missed assignments, turnovers, missed tackles, penalties, all the things that get you beat, because all of those are in the moment things. They don't happen every Tuesday. They don't happen every Wednesday. But if they come up on that field on Saturday, the wrong time, I mean, we're good. I'm telling you we're good, but I'm telling you we're going to be in a fight every time, and the margin of victory is going to be more about the missed tackles, missed assignments, those kinds of things. So if we don't take care of our day-to-day business, if I give you a general answer, if we take care of our day-to-day business, and our destiny will take care of itself, and we don't have to worry about the destiny. Okay. We gotta worry about taking care of our day-to-day business. And, that's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do for any organization, or any football team. You know, I've been more of a preacher than I have been a coach. And, you know, just preaching the message, you know. Vince Lombardi, you know, I can't quote it very well, but people that are champions, they have to live a life a little different, whatever that saying is. Takes a little bit more or whatever, and we, you know, we've got to wake up every day. And right now our GPA is higher as it's ever been. Our, you know, the accountability levels on this football team are the best. I have not seen anybody come across my desk with any trouble. Tig's deal is one that didn't happen here, it happened over there. Basically the information I'm getting is not what it looks like anyway, but people aren't here. I don't have any accountability. I don't hold them accountable. I can't hold them accountable. But the accountabilities I put out for these guys every day, I think they have tried to prepare themselves in such a way that they will be responsible for that assignment, that, you know, they're part of this thing. And, you know, and basically it's growing them up as men and teaching them how to live with some dignity and some productivity in their lives. I mean, it's just trying to get them to grow up. Forget about entitlement, forget about talent. You are what you do every day. So, y'all coming in, y'all about to get a dang preaching just sitting here, aren't you? Sorry about that. We good?